G'day Trendsetter, Stuart here, and coming at you from sunny Queensland, sunny Toowoomba. Hopefully we've been promised some rain, so today I'm going to be planting seed. I've got some more pak choi, beetroot, rocket, radish and carrots. Nothing unusual about me planting seeds or any veggie gardener planting seeds, but when there's been rain forecast, I like to have the seeds in the ground, and the rain obviously wets the soil, but it's the length of time that the soil stays moist. It gives the seeds the best, in my mind, gives the seeds the best chance of germination. So it's supposed to come in this afternoon, tomorrow, Monday. You've got 3 days of fairly good moist soil. Depends on the weather after the rain, if it's hot and dry again, whether I need to water until they germinate or not. But I just like to get seeds in the ground before the rain, because I think it gives them the best chance of germination. Now also, just FYI, where I work at Glenvale Villas, our gardens have been entered in what's a pretty big deal around here is the Toowoomba Carnival of Flowers. I'll put a link in the description, so if you want you can go and check out what all the hoo-ha's about. But judging is in 2 weeks for us on a Saturday afternoon, the 8th of September. And we're in 2 categories, in the veggie garden, or most productive garden I think they call it, and then just the general garden entry. And the winners for that will be announced on the 19th. It's a Wednesday night. We'll all go down to the presentation. No doubt you'll be hearing about it. Win, lose or draw. Preferably win. All right, so that's about it. I've got a little stick here. I'll show you what that's all about in a minute, and we'll get cracking with these seed planting. First cab off the rank today will be Mr. Fothergill's radish, sacks of 2. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, this is where the Sicily purple cauliflowers I planted 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I've just got this bit of vacant real estate, or veggie garden if you like, in front. And the radish will be up and eaten by the time these guys get out to here and shade the area. So when it comes to radish, I always try to poke them in and around any spare spaces I've got. Now, the other thing, radish, they say on the back of the packet, should be planted 1/4 of an inch deep, which is about the thickness of my stick. So all I do is press it into the ground, and that's how I get the depth of my rows. There's several ways to plant radish. I guess if you're doing a bigger area, you can just drill the whole lot out, but because I'm only doing a small row, I do lots of what they call succession planting, which is lots of small rows. So I've always got a radish going. So I'll get 2 seeds. They're not a bad size seed considering some plants, and you just drop them in about 4 inches apart. Doesn't matter, sometimes 3 seeds go in, doesn't matter. That's about it, and just cover them over. I'll water them, of course, and then hopefully this rain comes through. And radish, if you're not already aware, generally, if the weather's a little bit warm, 4 days, they should be poking their heads up, and inside a month you'll be picking them and eating them. Great little fill-in crop. This little area here, last week I added blood and bone. I just forked the soil over and added some blood and bone, and I've let it sit there for a week. This morning I came out and worked in a bucket of compost. So for beetroot, they need a little bit of nutrient, but not too much. You just want to avoid high nitrogen soils. So a bit of blood and bone, but not full strength, half strength if you like, and a bit of compost should be more than enough. Now beetroot have to go in a bit deeper than radish, so I've got myself a bigger stick, but the same theory applies. Just press it in. The back of the packet says 12 millimeters or half an inch in the old language. And beetroot is what they call a composite seed. So you've got these big corky looking seeds to start with, but inside that there can be 2 or 3 actual seeds. So I just like to plant them individually, about 6 inches apart, give them plenty of room to grow. The more room you give your vegetables, you can put 2 seeds in each one if you like, just to double up and make sure you get a good germination, good strike. Some people, or some gardeners, like to pre-soak beetroot seeds to get through the corkiness there, but I've never worried. As long as you keep the soil nice and moist, I've always had a good strike rate. You don't want to, when you're planting seeds, you don't want the soil surface to dry out, because then any small root development or anything like that is more than likely just going to give up the game, and you've got to go back and start from scratch. So that's it, beetroot's done. Pak choy, is that getting in focus? I'm probably too close. Pak choy, they're a member of the brassica family. All the seeds of the brassicas tend to look the same after a while. Cabbage, cauliflower, just slightly the size changes a little bit. I think even rocket is a member of the brassica family. But I've already got a row of bok choy planted here a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just going to come about 8 inches away from that. Bok choy is only about 1/4 of an inch deep, so I've got my little stick back, and it's the same with every other seed. I just tip a few out into my hand. 1 or 2 seeds where you want them, about 6 inches apart, 150 mils if you like. Drop 2 seeds in each one there. Sometimes 3 falls in. If you get 3 or 4 seeds in a hole and they all germinate, you want to pick out the weaker ones and just leave the strongest one left. That's it. I hate these plastic bags. Brush a bit of soil back over them, about 1/4 of an inch deep. Just tamp it down. Mark your row, because you never ever remember where your row is. Now, the other ones I've got is some carrots. And carrots, you can probably write a book about carrots, but just to keep it brief, they don't like an overly rich soil. Most root crops don't. because they'll just produce all top and no bottom, and it's basically not what you're planting them for. But again, much the same as everything else. Carrots, I'll go about 8 inches apart again. My little stick to check out the depth. The sticks then become the markers. And this is a variety called Navari F1, which makes it a hybrid carrot. Now again, two ways you can deal with carrots. They're not overly big seed by any stretch of the imagination, but you can just put, after a bit of practice, a couple in here and there, 2 or 3 inches apart, and again you can thin them out. Some people just like to broadcast a whole trail and thin them all out. I find that hard to do. It seems wasteful to me, even though carrots produce a ridiculous amount of seed. All right. Just brush that bit of soil back over them. I haven't added any compost or blood and bone or anything to this garden bed. It's just had cow manure in it about a month ago. The bok choy might need a little bit more encouragement. Once they're up, I'll just side dress with a bit of blood and bone and keep it away from the carrots. That'll be good enough. That's about it. I've got rocket here. It's the same. I'm only going to put, just put them in a gap here and there in the garden. Alright, that's it today from my veggie garden. Now, I know there's thousands of videos out there about how to plant seeds. That's just how I do it. Works for me. You're going to have to find your own way in different soil types. My red soil that I've got here, volcanic soil, dries, the top inch dries incredibly quickly, so I'm always got to keep the moisture up when I'm planting seeds, stuff like that. You might have a wetter, a loamier soil, holds moisture better, you won't have to water as often. But if you do decide to plant some seeds for yourself, start with radish. If you're a beginner, start with radish. They are dead easy. Don't let them dry out. Don't over fertilise them, because again you'll get all top and no bottom, and even though you can eat the top. So if you do want to go that way, by all means fertilise them and grow the tops and just eat the tops. Anyhow, that's it for today. Hopefully this rain comes through, keeps the seeds moist. Thanks for watching this far. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my little piece of YouTube, the internet, the world, if you like. It's all fun and games. But anyhow, cheers and thanks for watching.